For those individuals who own a business, whether closely held or a large corporation, there are different approaches that the court here in Nevada will evaluate to determine the value of that business for the purpose of division in a divorce case. The first is known as the asset approach, the second is the income approach, and the third is the market approach. It depends on the type of business, how business is transacted, whether it's a service-oriented business or it's a manufacturing business that creates something. I would be delighted to sit down with you and evaluate the particular facts and circumstances of your case to determine what approach should be used and how to determine the value of your business for the purposes of divorce. It is possible for one spouse to maintain sole ownership or be awarded sole ownership of a business in a divorce case. It depends largely on the type of business and whether a qualified employee or QE is necessary. More specifically, if a person is a general contractor and owns a construction company and their spouse does not own a construction license, it would be appropriate in that circumstance for the husband in this hypothetical to maintain and own that business because he owns or maintains the license to conduct business as a contractor in Nevada. He is the QE or qualified employee in that circumstance. In the event that that is the case, it does not mean that the spouse in the circumstance is not entitled to any of the business. They are. If the business was acquired or started after the parties married, both spouses own an equal community interest in the business. That means that in this hypothetical, for the man who is the contractor and owns the business, we have to value the business to determine what its value is, and then the wife in this hypothetical would be entitled to 1/2 of the value. So if the business is valued and it's determined that the construction company is worth $5 million, the wife would be entitled to $2.5 million of the value of that business. And the man in this hypothetical, or husband, would be required to pay the spouse or wife $2.5 million, whether that's in a lump sum buyout or whether an agreement is made to accomplish that buyout over a certain number of months and or years. In certain circumstances where the parties have a community property business or a business that was acquired or started after the parties married, and one party controls that business solely, it can become necessary for the spouse that doesn't work there or participate in its operations to safeguard their interest in that property in a divorce case, to basically ensure that the spouse that operates the business does not run it into the ground or acquire so much debt that they devalue the business so much that it becomes worthless. In that certain circumstance, it might be appropriate that a receiver is necessary. Someone to come in, generally a certified accountant, to come in and ensure that the business is not acquiring substantial debts that it doesn't need, or gifting large sums of property, or that the spouse that operates the business is not gutting it of resources or basically divesting all of the operating capital from the business or diluting the shares in any way. So a receiver can be a very important tool that we use to ensure that a business survives during the divorce process when only one party is operating that business and the other spouse doesn't have any control or record ownership of it.